Hello, Madden Nation. Skips here for another exciting edition. It is not your den, it is not my den, but it is the Madden, aka the Laser Show. Hello, Madden Nation. Skips here for another exciting edition. It is not your den, it is not my den, but it is the Madden, aka the Laser Show. Oh, the internet's most passionate show about John Madden NFL 12 football, kicking off the bag. Show 194. What we're talking about today is the Game of the Week Revisited, Show 66, TWIM, Z-Files versus my man, Shotmaster, EA Sports Game Changer Shotmaster against EA Sports Game Changer Z-Files. And, can neck crack it? Ooh. Ooh. Woo. You ever get a good neck crack and just kind of revitalize your day? But before we get into that, I'm just in a battle right now on Twitter with a good guy right now from a Madden Sim League here. What we're talking about is Sim, and you guys know how I feel about this. Sim doesn't exist. Does not exist. You see, why doesn't it exist? And if we look back, even at the beginning of this year, and if I said to you that I wanted to use my tight end as a halfback every once in a while to run the ball, the Sim crowd would say that's not legit. That's not Sim. You don't see that in the NFL. And my argument with Sim has always been that Sim is only as current as the last play that you've seen. Alright? Because you never know what you're going to see in the coming days. You just don't. And if you say, I just don't like the rules and regulations that get placed, right? So my point is, you've seen the New England Patriots play this year. You've seen Aaron Hernandez, especially late, has been getting a bunch of handoffs. Guy even played in the backfield under center last week. Why? Patriots were no huddling. They had a 2 tight end package, 3 wide receivers, and they didn't have a running back, but Tom Brady audible under center to single back in a no-huddle situation, and Aaron Hernandez was actually the halfback. Now, he got the handoff. That's the kicker. They actually handed the ball off under center. He's also gotten a bunch of handoffs from shotgun, where he's been in the backfield, taking a little halfback draw, halfback sweep. And the thing to me, and then I'm having these talks. I said this kind of things in the past before, like, you never know what you're going to see, and then what you see, the next play you see, kind of changes what Sim is, right? Because now that that's happened, why isn't it Sim? Why isn't it NFL like for me to audible down to full house and use Aaron Hernandez as a halfback? Well, I'm typically not running the ball with him. He's just lined up back there, right? So I don't understand that argument, And then the response I'm getting, which I respect it, I understand it, but the response I'm getting is, well, that's the 5% rule, right? What they say is that, you look at a thing called the dark figure crime. This is getting way out of Madden world, but it's 5% of 95% of the crime in the country is committed by 5% of people, right? So that, you can kind of look at that towards anything you're looking at. 5% rule. So pretty much anything, 5% rule. Okay. So the Patriots are kind of like that 5% rule. Where 95% of the league is running this Sim style offense, whatever that it is, right? I don't know, but the Patriots run the 5% rule of where they do crazy, quirky things. No huddle 50% of the game. Aaron Hernandez is at halfback, things like that. So the rule is, well, now what's happening is I'm hearing, well, we're looking at the majority of what the league does. So you're just going to ignore the New England Patriots? It just so happens they're my favorite team, but that makes me upset too. But again, my point before about what Sim was and what Sim is, has always been, is that the league, or the individual league, makes rules that suit that league. And I get that. That's awesome. And that's good, because that's creating unity, and that's creating a culture in that league that's awesome, right? But when you look at the grand scheme of things, I've been a part of a lot of Sim leagues and jumped in conversations and talked with a lot of these guys, and I've never found 2 Sim leagues that were separate of each other, that had no idea they existed, and had the same rules, right? Because the rules are always different to fit the needs of the league, right? So maybe you have a guy that is a great passer, and then you start limiting his passing and things like that. And I understand that. I think the rules, where they come from, is they're trying to slow down some of what the effective things in Madden are, and I agree. I understand that. Like the auto fades in the end zone are very effective in the game. They are. They are. Maybe they're over effective. I don't know. I'm not the judge of that. But what I'm saying is, they are effective. They are very effective. But the kicker to me is that they're effective to the right guys, right? It's not effective to Wes Welker, who's 5'8". I mean, it's not effective to Deion Branch, who's short and doesn't have good catching traffic. It is effective to a guy like Rob Gronkowski. He's 6'6", and that's what he does, right? So why is that not fair? It's effective to those guys that it should be effective to, right? But then the counter to that is, if you are really bothered by that, why make a rule? Why not get into the lab and try and find a problem, find a way to fix it? That's what I would say. And I understand. I understand even the flip side of that, which is not everyone has the time for that. I get that, and I don't have a good answer back to that. I don't, because that's life. That's life, and maybe the ultimate answer is that's why there's rules, Gibbs. And maybe that's something that, if you tell me that, if that was your reasoning, we don't have time to lab, we don't have time, so we make rules to kind of make things more fair and all things like that, I'll respect the living daylights out of that. But if you're going back and forth with me and saying that just give me run around the bush, I don't think sim exists. I don't think tournament exists. I don't think anything. I think we're just one Madden community. One Madden community. We all play Madden. We all gotta try and connect with each other. Remember, glitches are only things that do not have counters, right? So I say a field goal kick. If you can block field goals, that's a glitch, because as a field goal kicking team, I can't hot route, I can't block a guy, I can't call it different formation, I can't make adjustments to stop you from blocking my kick. That's what a glitch is, alright? That's what a glitch is. Nano blitzes, to me, they don't exist. So a blitz that comes off that left edge every time, without you making adjustments, is not my fault. That's your fault. It's your fault, not mine, because you have to slide protect your line, block a guy, do something, you'll pick the pressure up. But don't sit there, do nothing, and say that it's my problem or it's their problem. That's all I gotta say about that. I got a little fired up about that, but I respect it. I respect everyone out there that plays the game, and but that's the beauty of this game is that you have these debates, and that's part of the reason why I love Madden, right? Is because these debates go on and these battles go on, and that's what's great about the game. Let's talk about Shop Wheezy. And let's talk about Z Falls this past week playing this game. My controller died. And gotta plug it in. Hope that makes sense. If that makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't make sense, if I'm not making sense with that argument, let me know. Be like Gibbs, no man, you don't make sense there, and I respect that. Let's get back into this game, though. Alright, so this is let's see. Alright, so let's take a look. This is what Shopmaster was running against Farles, and Farles was doing the following. Yes, he was playing a cover 3. Actually, I don't even know if he was playing a cover 3. I think he was. He was playing a cover 3, and this is what he was doing. So first off, his adjustments were the following. He would pinch his line, and then he would kind of crash him out. And then that was it. That's all he was doing, right? I don't know what else. He wasn't setting the defense up properly. I think in the heat of the battle, he just wasn't setting up properly. And then what he was doing, he was keeping the safety, way back here. For whatever reason, he was afraid of play action. And I think I did say watch out for play action a couple times, but over the course of the game, when your opponent doesn't show you that they're going to do, run play action, don't respect it, right? So Shopmaster just kept running this play. And Farles had that deep safety way out there, and as you can see, why this run's effective is because you don't have that extra guy in the box. Let me bring that back out here. Go back to instant replay. Now we lose the containment off that left edge, as you can see. So look there's 2 free blockers there. Now if I had my user guy, I could take up that 78, and then you'd have the other linebacker, Clay Matthews, Claymaker, take up the block and be able to knife in and take out the ball carrier. So first and foremost, Farles, this is a call out on you, buddy. You were sloppy with your adjustments. You were very sloppy. You didn't even make adjustments. You did make adjustments, but you didn't finish the adjustments. You pinched your line, and that kind of was it. I want to see what we talk about on a daily basis all the time about that run defense, right? I want you to make the adjustments. So there's a 6-yard clip because the safety was back. So when I remember what we say about what you're doing with this run defense, you're making you're creating balance. Remember, I want the flat zones. I want them wide. I want them out wide. Now, see these linebackers? See how they're staggered? They're not very balanced with the offensive line. So One way you'd make them balance is like that. That's balanced, right? You have them over those DNs, that's pretty balanced. But because Shock was running that fullback dive, I want Clay Matthews just a little bit inside of that DN. And then I want AJ Hawk a little bit outside of the opposite DN. And the reason I want him outside is because Shock was going outside a lot with that run. Now, your last responsibility that Falls wasn't doing is to run up in the middle of the field. You have outside containment on this left side with our linebacker here. So we're not worried about the run. We know this formation doesn't have a toss there, so we're not worried about the toss, and we don't have to really keep containment out the outside edge because we know there's no toss from this formation. So your responsibility here, Falls, should have been with Burnett to jump up the middle of the field right through there, right through this gap, and take them up. Because if we take a look at the offensive line here, Green is going to get taken up by the center. Raj is going to get taken up by the guard. Pickett will be taken up by the tackle here. And then we have Wynn should be picked up either by the tackle or the guard. Tackle or the guard, and then the linebackers right here, Walden and Hawk, will be taken up by either the guy that doesn't take up Wynn and then the fullback. So then your responsibility here with Burnett is to get through and knife through this A gap right there. So here's the play again, and I wanted Falls up in the box here. I wanted him up in the box. I wanted him to shoot the A gap right through here. As you can see, you get in, you take him down. And what Falls was doing was keeping that last guy back. The most important part about this run defense, and I hear people say to me, Gibbs, I don't get the run defense to work. The run defense isn't working. And the major focus of the run defense is that free safety deep. You got to get 9 guys in the box, like we have here, 4 D linemen, 4 linebackers, and 1 deep safety. That's 9 defenders. You got to overload that defense. As you can see here, like what I said before, look. So the guard took the linebacker, our D end, and then the tackle's getting upfield. The fullback set outside containment right there, outside containment. Just for boots, we have outside containment over here. We have Clay Matthews free for the fullback dive, if there was a fullback dive. And now we shoot the gap with our linebacker, right there. Right there, our safety, I'm sorry. Shoot the gap and take them down. Nowhere to go. Again, very easy adjustment. Now, when I say these easy adjustments, one of the big things about this is that I'm not going to blame Farles because this was a different run formation he hadn't seen before, someone used all year. And part of what you go through in Madden is you need to lab certain formations. Now, if I was going to face strong close, say for example this is a strong close. So let's see if I well, let me go to a pass and let me see. Yeah, so this is more like what you see strong close, like Saunders would be out wide and Walsh would be out wide. But say this is strong close. The formation of strong close makes me want to set up this style of run defense a little bit differently, mainly because the weak side here is not the strong side of the run. Like, there's not as much focus on the weak side. So instead of having Hawk out here, I'd have Hawk inside. I'd have Matthews. There's no fullback dive, so I'd have Matthews over my DN here, and I'd have Peppery out wide. I have Walden here, and then maybe even take Matthews and put him here, and then I want to fill in the hole here with Burnett. And if I was going against strong close, I want it to look like that. That's the balance. So, I mean, the big thing is, like, you get into the lab against these different run formations and figure out the best setup around them. So let's go back to the original setup. Again, Clay Matthews inside there just for that fullback dive. So if the fullback dive is run, Matthews will sit on that fullback dive right there. Hawk outside there, Burnett. And what this is going to do is going to create this lane for us to shoot the hole with Burnett. And take down and lay hammer sticks on Shotmaster's run. So here's again. Hawk outside. But here's the kicker, watch. Say if I don't bring Burnett in like Falls is doing, if I run him back here, play action, fake play action, watch the difference in this run defense. See the difference? Do you see the difference between the support you get from that linebacker deep? One more time. Keep Clay in just in case it's the fullback dive. You never know. Hawk out wide, Walden out wide. Burnett, get him in there. Get ready to shoot that gap with Burnett. And I missed that time. I missed, but I still had good support behind me. So that's the focus of this run defense, guys. Show 194, a little sim verse world talk. Much respect to my man, Freight Train Shane in the Madden Sim League. Love you guys. Appreciate everything you do. I love this conversation we're having. That's just my stance, but I respect what you guys are doing as well. And keep at it, guys. And as always, guys, what are we doing with this show? We are changing the Madden community. We are doing it one snap at a time. Hello, Madden Nation. Skips here for another exciting edition. It is not your den, it is not my den, but it is the Madden, aka the Laser Show.